of the NFL, no doubt, as you get a look inside U.S. Bank Stadium here in Minneapolis. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Detroit Lions and the Minnesota Vikings. Hi again, everyone. Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. And, Charles, you look at this Vikings ball club. They come in off a loss in the season opener, which doubled as the home opener. And when you lose that way, at home, season opener, it almost feels like 2 losses. So it's a big fight to get yourselves ready to go to play the next week. Meanwhile, for the Lions here, they come into this one after a loss in the opener, and they're in for another tough test here. And what a battle for an organization to look at your schedule and see 2 road games to start the season and not have a letdown immediately. You got to fight against that. They've got to come out ready to play. Now a play fake here on first down. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. He was trying to find Marvin Jones that time. And it's second down. And the Buffet boys, the O-line, hopefully they're ready today. Listen, you got to feed them first. But if you do, you usually get a great product out on the field. And when they play well, the quarterback can't wait to feed them afterwards. Second and 10, Stafford again. The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. Daniil Hunter able to collapse the pocket and drop him for a loss of a yard. I know some of the talk after last week's loss was the O-line struggles. They gave up 4 sacks. He got hit here and taken down again, so that's something to monitor. It is something to monitor, but they've got to help their offensive line out. Maybe a little bit different play calling, right? Draws, screens, get the ball out of the quarterback's hands quicker, maybe some quick game passes. All of that to try and help slow down a pass rush and make things easier on their offensive line. Third and long, it's Stafford. And this turns into disaster. He's not going to get forward progress. That'll be a safety. So how's that for an interesting way to start this ball game? First drive of the game and you go backwards all the way into your own end zone? Guess it kind of makes you wonder what else we might have in store here in this one. And remember, following the safety, you give the football up as well, and they free kick it from the 20 now. So they will accept the penalty and move forward. On first and 10, Keenum. And his first look is incomplete. You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's the one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
Now let's go!
Now the first carry for Dalvin Cook. And he'll work this one out to about the 30. That type of a run, there's some talking going on down on the field, but it's not trash talking. The guy who just carried the ball, he's going back and telling his offensive line, great job, keep it up, and we'll break that one soon. To throw is Keenum. Open man is Thielen, it's complete. And he's going to have a first down as he's brought down at the 44-yard line. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains. That throw's not going to get them a whole lot, but that really didn't matter, did it? They got what they needed on that throw. Picked up the first down, and I'm going cliche here. Game of inches. And that's caught inside the 30. And he's going to be marked down deep in Detroit territory. That one goes for 36 yards.
Not the tallest receiver on the field, but he just shouted to admit that the little guy can't go downfield and make a big-time catch on a deep pass because sometimes they'll just out-scrap you for the football.
From the red zone now, Keenum. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked off by Quandre Diggs. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. So the Lions offense ready to go back out onto the field. And, of course, coming off the safety the last time they had the football. I never want that.
No, that's pretty unique, too, isn't it? When you give up points that way and the scoreboard, you look up and it says 2-0, it can throw you a little bit.
And can you believe it? It's a second safety in this ball game. So troubles here offensively. I tell you, the noise in this dome, that has got to make it harder for these guys to hear.
Sometimes I find myself shouting up here. But you're right. If you can't communicate well or get off the snap count properly, it can cause big problems. And this qualifies as a big problem.
And now out comes Minnesota. And the interception thrown in the red zone last time. We'll see if they can rebound.
I just have to think the last thing he said as they went back out there was, don't do that again. What do you think?
What do you think?
Yeah, I think that. I think that not only did he say that, but he also told them, let's put it in the end zone that it's supposed to be in, all right? The end zone we're trying to score. I know we're being a little bit facetious here, but the bottom line is take care of the football, and everything else should flow from there.
Quick lesson, never ask the play-by-play guy a question.
Hey, you're my partner. I know you're right there with me.
They go play action here on first down. He's going to float this one deep right side. So they took a shot on first down but couldn't connect.
One of the toughest things about playing defensive back is pattern reading, trying to figure out what they're doing. And on that one, they had to fly, just sending a guy downfield with the in route accompanying it, what people call a dagger route, trying to hit the guy underneath after the clear out. In this case, though, they're not able to get it done.
Yeah, they said forget the underneath route. They went for the guy on the fly, but as you said, incomplete. Throwing again, Bridgewater on 2nd and 10. And he slings one that's incomplete. He was trying to find Ladarius Green there as tight end. 3rd down here.
Well, they're slinging it, and then there's one you got to put a timer on, huh? I mean, that one came in hot.
That came in hot, but overthrown out of his reach and incomplete. On 3rd down, Bridgewater. Under pressure here, and down he goes. Sacked back at about the 43-yard line. And their inaugural sack of the game coming from an unlikely source.
You mean it wasn't a linebacker? It wasn't a defensive end?
It was somebody like you.
Oh, my goodness. Yeah, that's a surprise for the offense. That's not what they normally get when they think about pressure.
And a little too much mustard on that one. It hits a couple yards into the end zone. A missed opportunity there maybe to pin them back. And Detroit getting set to go now. It's been an awfully slow start for them. This is their 3rd possession. They don't have a first down yet.
So that means they have to change up what they're doing, and for some teams, it's a change in tempo, usually moving it to more up-tempo type of an offense, just to try and change their fortunes right now. What they've been doing so far isn't working. Maybe they'll do that.
2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. And a look at the Vikings defensive unit.
Sharif Floyd has battled injuries throughout his NFL career, but when he's at his best, when he is on his game, he provides excellent interior pressure with his quickness, able to split blocks, get upfield into the backfield, and make plays against quarterbacks.
To throw on 2nd down at Stafford. The completion good. This is Eric Ebron. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down.
They really love to get him into one-on-one opportunities, and this is one way. Work him out of the slot and create a mismatch. Who's going to cover him? Corner, safety, linebacker? He's got a way to beat all of those positions.
They run with their short yardage man, Ivory. And he's going to have the first down yardage to the 35. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue. If you start assessing what went wrong last week, Charles, in their loss, had nothing to do with the ground game. They ran it well.
And you also have to say to yourself as a team, don't go away from what worked. That's not the reason the game was lost. Running the football over time, when you do it consistently, usually translates into wins.
And they're open to do it consistently here. The rushing numbers for Ivory a week ago, 17 carries, 127 yards.
They've got a nice scheme going right now, and they run the football pretty well. In fact, I was talking with him on the field before the game, and he said he's starting to hear from the guys ahead of him on the rushing yardage total, and they want to know if he's going to jump up there and join them at the top of the list.
On second down, Ivory trying to run inside, but nothing there. Officially no gain on the play, and they're left with a 3rd and 8. Big boys down there in the trenches, and a nice play to stop them cold. Nothing there.
Yeah, when you talk about big boys, you're talking about those defensive tackles, those nose tackles. They're not just big, they're immense. And what a big-time play there.
Stafford. Ebron with it over the middle. It'll be a gain of 8, but it'll also lead to a 4th down.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a 1st down.
Now stopped him in his tracks. Oh, he'll field it in the end zone. We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And the Vikings will be backed up deep to begin their drive as they take over 1st and 10. Very tough spot here for the offense to start. Here's Cook as they begin on the ground. Nice move on the play, but he will be brought down shy of the 15. Back now with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Second quarter begins with the Vikings holding the football. They're looking at a 2nd and short yardage to start things out. Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. Second down, Bridgewater. And this is Michael Floyd, complete. And he gets this one up just shy of the 35 to the 34. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
Partner, it's a lot of fun watching the NFL now, isn't it? Because when the big fella runs routes, it used to be when we were kids, he'd run about 3 different routes, and that was it. Now he can run anything and catch the ball, as we just saw there.
Bridgewater now looking to throw on first. Going deep for Diggs. And it drops down incomplete. Thought he might have had it. Instead, second down.
The positioning here is key. As a defensive back, you're taught 99% of the time, make a play on the football. But in this case, making a play on the man was all the difference. That's what forced the incompletion.
Handoff comes to Cook, and the hole closes quickly. He gets it across the 35 to the 36-yard line. 2 yards on the carry there, and it's going to lead him to 3rd down. And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
Here's Ryan Quigley now. On for his second punt. He'd take a repeat of his first. And this one hits at the 1, continues on into the end zone for a touchback. Now the Lions offense, they get ready to head back out there. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
And he's brought down after a good gain. 23 yards on the play. First down, this is Ivory. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Let's talk a little football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on first down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
So again, they run. Again, it's Ivory. And he's going to get hit at the line of scrimmage and driven backwards. No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4. And when you're running the football, one thing you don't want to see is a big boy coming up there and swallow you whole in those D tackles and nose tackles.
No, you're actually counting on your big boys to protect you from them. But on that play, the defensive tackle had the leverage, and he won the battle. No gain, correct?
No gain. And they'll get him to the ground, but he got all the way down to the 30-yard line. The 21 yards there as they convert on 3rd.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat him.
And the pressure gets to him and brings him down. Stafford is sacked. A minute 58 to go in this first half of play. More from Minneapolis after this. Don't forget, coming up at halftime, we'll take you to Orlando and Larry Ridley. Larry will have the highlights of this first half, but he won't have touchdowns because we haven't had any to this point.
But there's still time, though, partner.
Now the Notre Dame man, this is Theo Riddick. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. And now the Vikings are going to stop it here on defense with a timeout. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. And that is no good. And this score will stay right where it is. The Lions defense. Now back onto the field. And on the outside, they're playing press coverage.
Let's go. Way 90. Way 90. Dagger. 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 Blue 58.
First down, Bridgewater. And complete right side to Cook. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. It'll be a 3-yard gain, and that'll make it 2nd down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
A 2nd down throw for Bridgewater. And going deep. This is caught inside the 15. Touchdown, Vikings. Tyreek Hill, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Vikings get the quick strike touchdown. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky Country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
This is fielded a couple yards deep. And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 as he's taken down right at the 20. Here's the Lion offense now as they get ready to take over. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes.
Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down. Emerson Griffin in there to sack him for a loss of 6. That's number 4. Sack number 4. They had 4 last week, so he's been down on the ground a lot.
Partner, they say the eye in the sky does not lie. And that's indeed the case because they watched the game tape from the previous week, incorporated it into their own defensive scheme, and continued to get after this quarterback.
And now this defense will be searching for sack number 5. The Lions will use the first of their timeouts as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be stopped up at the line of scrimmage with a flag down. Let's check on the call. So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. And the penalty now makes it 1st and 20. Out of the gun, Stafford. To the right side to Eric Ebron. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. The Lions now going to use the second of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number 1. Here's Stafford now on second down. Ebron's got it. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. Now a play fake, and it's Stafford. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. And another timeout called by the Vikings now. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. And it's taken in at the 9. And he'll be out of bounds, getting it across the 25. A very good return that time. 18 yards. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. Getting set to go here, Teddy Bridgewater and company marches back onto the field. He's played a pretty clean first half, a touchdown, no interceptions.
Frankly, that's what they expect out of him. They want to see the ball thrown and thrown well, and he's able to do that and put it in the end zone. They'd love to see more of that before this game finishes. But right now, he's got his team in a good spot.
A good spot, maybe looking for touchdown pass number 2 here in the second quarter. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense, as they'll stop it with 14 seconds to go in this first half. Bridgewater now on second down. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Well, we always talk about how you've got to be quick when you go through your progressions, and here's another prime example. Trying to look downfield, he was standing in the pocket, but just couldn't find anyone open, could he?
No, not enough time. They hit him and forced that incompletion. Bridgewater on 3rd and 2. And going deep for Hill. That's caught inside the 20. Touchdown, Vikings. Tyreek Hill in the final seconds of the first half. And the Vikings are going to add on to their lead.
And that's a lead that excites a team as they head into the half. Good way to finish things off.
Yeah, able to extend that lead, and you always say it, that can totally change the complexion of half number 2.
Yeah, it changes your morale, changes your outlook. But even before that, let's see if they decide to kind of squib kick or what they're going to do on the kickoff, because you don't want to give up a big play right before the half ends.
Good point. So apparently some grabbing there in the middle of the O-line.
I've often wondered why that doesn't happen more often for guys that play center. Having to snap the ball and then trying to get your hands into the proper position, that's difficult to do. He got caught that time.
And they're able to up the lead by 1 more. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. So we've reached halftime here in Minnesota with a Viking. Now you folks don't know what you're missing. Missing Larry Ridley. Ready to get back, though, to this Week 2 matchup. Let's get to it. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll be knocked down sideways at the 23. Tyreek Hill making his way back out towards the huddle. Seems like the measuring stick for a receiver for a great game is 100 yards. Well, he's well past that now.
And as we analyze how he's getting them, that's where it really becomes fun because, let's face it, they keep sending coverage at him, keep trying to put the pressure on, yet he finds ways downfield and finds openings. That's a really crafty receiver.
Looks like the defense in press coverage here. On 1st and 10, Bridgewater. He's going to loft one deep and got his man complete. Past the 20. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. Tyreek Hill, his 3rd touchdown of the game and 4th on the year. And the Vikings find a way to stretch their lead.
And this is obviously quite a performance. And most of the time when we talk about someone putting a team on their back, I think we're talking about a guy who runs the football. In this case, it's a guy out wide catching it, and he's done exactly that, truly leading his team right now towards victory.
3 touchdown catches. He's been the headliner. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So we get a look at the Lions offense as they get ready for their first possession of the second half. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
It's already 2nd and 12. The defense hoping to push them back more. They stay on the ground. Ivory again. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up 3rd.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. And he'll just toss it away. So he throws it away, and that brings up 4th down. Another drive comes and goes. Still nothing on the scoreboard.
Yeah, and when the second half comes, it's real easy to get discouraged and wonder if you're ever going to get things started. You just got to fight through it. Got to keep pounding away.
And here now the punter, Martin, booming this one away. This will be fielded at the 17. They'll call that a punt of 59 yards. Tough to do better than that. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Tyreek Hill making his way back out towards the huddle. And I think we both agreed he could have a really good game with this matchup, but over 200 yards now.
I don't think we saw it as that good. And I think what really makes it special is when games like this are occurring, it's not just getting locked in and in the zone and on a roll. It's continuing to adjust throughout the game because, the defense is kicking coverages towards him, trying their best to slow him down, and he keeps getting the better of them.
Yeah, whatever they've done, it hasn't worked. Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. To throw, Bridgewater. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Stephon Diggs, his intended receiver. And it'll bring up 3rd down. Well, the numbers have been good in the passing game, and certainly a big reason why they have the lead. But now here, third quarter, maybe go to the run game a little more?
Yeah, perhaps. I mean, after that incompletion, a little credit to the defense for shutting them down on that play. Maybe you try and run the football a little bit more in this spot. But they have to feel good about how they've been.
And he fires one that's intercepted. It's the 2014 NFL interception leader, Glover Quinn. And they will be set up now as he brings this thing all the way back inside the 20. They needed a break. They needed to make a play here in the third quarter. Defensively, they did that. Now they got to go quickly and get some points on the board.
And the best part is that they made their own break, taking the ball away. Now they just look at their offense and saying, guys,
let's go.
Come on, capitalize on this one.
After the interception, here's Stafford. And he's going to drop this off to his fullback. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. 6 yards on the pickup, and it'll make it a second down.
Now that's often a surprise for the defensive guys when they see the big fella slide out of the backfield and catch the ball. Not something they usually go over in practice very often.
They'll give it up to Ivory. And they see right through that defensively as he'll be hit and taken down to the backfield. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a third down.
Brandon, that play typifies what we've seen from the offense all day long. They've had no success getting things going. I think for the offensive coordinator, he's got to go to that side of the play sheet.
Oh, a hit. He lost the football. Stafford puts it on the ground. And the Vikings pick up the football. He's at the 50, the 30, 20, 10. And they're going to bring this one back. It's a fumble return, a scoop and score for the Vikings. They give some kudos to the defensive coordinator, I think, here. They bring the blitz, they dial it up, and it turns into 6 points for them.
It's so nice to hear you actually give kudos to the defense. It is so nice for such an offensive guy like that. I love it. He dialed things up, and boy, a big play resulted for his guys.
Well, you like the credit to the defense there, right, my friend?
Yeah, do I ever.
So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. Fielded about a yard deep. Here's the Detroit offense now as they head back out onto the field. They are right now just ice cold. I mean, they have struggled big time in this game, and they're getting blown out. How do they adjust?
So tough because we always talk about it being a team game, and you need all 11 working well together. But every now and then, partner, you need that one guy who can make a play against all odds that maybe can ignite things. And I think that's what they're looking for right now.
Yeah, you talk about going to your playmakers. They probably need to do it.
Find someone that you're used to touching the football that makes big plays and give them that opportunity.
The Vikings after it, and they get there for the sack. Everson Griffin in there to pick up his second sack now of the afternoon. Offensively, they're going to have to figure this out before next week. 7 sacks in one game.
Yeah, and that's more than any quarterback should have to bear. And if this continues on, there will be another quarterback in the game because no one can stand up to this week after week.
They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down.
They didn't get the first down, but I have to say I do like the call. I like what they were trying to do. Try and hit your receiver on the run and see if he can pick it up, keep it on his feet, get a little rack yardage.
Yeah, but a nice job defensively to get to him and keep him short of the first. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. This is taken at about the 14. A terrific return there. 27 yards all told. And that will come the offense as they take over. And now out comes Minnesota. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. Throw left side on target to Thielen. And the ball is knocked out. And this is scooped up by the Lions.
We have seen this before, and we know coaches preach about this and work on it all the time. Catch the ball. You know there's going to be some traffic somewhere. They've got to put it away and secure it as they try and get downfield.
They start on the ground with Ivory. Look at this spin.
Balance.
And he's brought down. That good for 19 and a first down.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
And that one was relatively easy to see. I noticed that from up here.
Yeah, it doesn't take a whole lot, does it? Sometimes you get multiples. What I always love on these offsides is when each side points at the other. Hey, you did it. No, you did it. They deciphered that one correctly.
Following the penalty, it's Ivory. And there just continues to be nowhere to run. He's bottled up again at the line of scrimmage. No gain there on 1st and 5, and it leaves him with a more standard second down. They give it to Ivory. And that didn't fool anybody. He's going to be dropped in the backfield. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
And that's another stop for the defense. Something we've seen all game long. They have been on fire today. No matter what's called by the offense, they've had an answer for it.
Now flags will come in. I think this one's going to be on the defense for jumping. A free 5 yards as the defense jumps.
I know it's an anticipation game for them, but it's also a reaction game. And they reacted poorly on that one.
Now it's Stafford off the bootleg. It's caught. Jones. And he's able to pick up the first down before he's tackled right at the 10. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is, because just about any offense that has an elite receiver, if you blitz and have him in man coverage, you're going to him, even if he has an elite defender on him, because he usually knows where the ball is before the defender does.
And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the 4th quarter. A very one-sided affair. On 2nd down, here's Stafford. And that one goes incomplete. He's maybe lucky it wasn't a fumble as he got hit as he threw it. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better.
Blitz coming, and down he goes. Daniil Hunter getting him once again, his 3rd sack of the afternoon.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
And the 11-year veteran bangs it through, and the drive will wind up yielding 3. Well, it's a Pyrrhic victory at best, but, Charles, no team wants to get shut out, so it's hard to blame them for taking the 3 there.
You can't blame them one bit. It hasn't been the best performance, that's for darn sure. But there is something to be said for fighting to avoid the goose egg, and they're at least trying to finish out strong.
And the Vikings able to recover. The hands team does its job. Well, 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we've brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
4th quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead, because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you can put yourself in jeopardy.
Now a give running right, it's Cook. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. That one good for 16, and the drive will continue.
Well, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down. Tough running there. That's a hard-earned 4 yards.
Yeah, those are the unsung kind of runs. They don't fill up the stat sheet, but they do set you up in good position on second down.
Here's Bridgewater. Green with a catch left side. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs.
And after that completion, you can understand why so many teams in the league are emphasizing speed on defense at every position. The tight ends have created so many tough matchups now. If you can't run with a tight end as a linebacker, this is going to be the result every time. Let's give this defense some credit now. They let the guys get downfield, but when push came to shove, they stood their ground, and now they'll likely force a field goal attempt.
They run it for the first time with a backup Murray. And here he'll get it down to the 7. That one good for 10 yards. And that'll bring up what looks to be a 3rd and inches. Can't be more than a half a foot.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there. I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down, 4th, fighting for the end zone. He lost the football. It's out. And this is scooped up by the Lions.
Partner, you know how often we hear about the red zone, right? From the 20-yard line going in, that's scoring zone, getting points on the board. A lot of teams call from the 10-yard line in the green zone. That's your money zone. He fumbles the ball inside the money zone. You have one job, take care of the ball. That didn't happen.
Following the fumble recovery, Stafford. And he hits his tight end, Ebron. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. A very nice pickup of 33 yards. Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves, but they're also looking forward now because now these plays are really for next week, trying to get some momentum going.
It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. You're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
To throw on second down. Stafford, a dump off for Ivory. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice gain.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go with the football?
Without a doubt, because he's right in your sight line or he's near you. So you're able to just get it to him easily. And once he gets in space, that's usually a good matchup for him.
Throwing again is Stafford. Oh, a hit. He lost the football. Stafford puts it on the ground. And the Vikings pick up the football. He's at the 30, 10. And that might just cement it. A return for a late touchdown. Time for a break. This one all over but the shouting. We'll finish it after this. Still an important piece of business to take care of, the extra point. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll probably wish he'd reconsidered here. It will cost him 10 yards as he's down at the 15.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
Watch 20, check 20. Single. Set, 60.
On 1st and 10, Stafford. Caught right side, Tate. And he'll go down just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. That's just his second catch of the game. They wanted to keep him silent. They have kept him silent.
Defensive football 101. Don't let the best player on offense beat you. Take him out of the game, and they've done a great job of doing that.
And he drops it incomplete, and their struggles continue here.
That would have been a great catch, but it's real difficult to hold on to it because it was contested all the way. Would have been a great play if he'd been able to haul that one in.
Stafford looking to throw on 3rd and 1. And unable to connect. If he had caught it, it would have been a first down. Instead, it's 4th. Here's Sam Martin now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. Fielded at the 20. And, oh, a big collision there. He's hit and knocked backward right on the 30-yard line. Tyreek Hill making his way back out towards the huddle. This defense, they wouldn't mind not seeing him again for a while. 3 trips to the end zone. How about that?
I think right now they would happily go to their general manager and say, is there any way you could get a trade for him? Bring him over to our team so we don't have to cover him anymore? Because he is really having a heck of a ball game, isn't he?
Boy, he is. I don't know that mid-game trade's going to happen, but good thought. They go play action here on 1st down. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. And that one results in 35 yards.
Well, go ahead and throw the ball, man. You got the big lead. You got the clock on your side. Obviously, they don't care much about the feelings of the other team, do they?
Well, I was going to say, you better run to the locker room pretty quick after this one.
Well, right now, maybe they're just looking at it from the fantasy perspective. More points for everyone if they win big.
And he gets this one all the way down inside the 15, just shy of the 10. A good pickup there, a 22.
And there's another completion to the tight end. And let's face it, it is hard to overthrow a 6'6" target.
It is indeed. Quarterbacks like their speed guys. They like that huge 6'6" target. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack.
Exactly what they were looking for. They've been giving up yardage. They've been letting them drive right downfield, but they got a sack right there. How about that for a little bit of revenge?
Bridgewater here to throw. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. It's the 2014 NFL interception leader, Glover Quinn. So that right there was his second pick, but keep in mind, this is a guy who once had a rare 3-interception game in his career.
So what are you saying, that getting 2 in a game is like kid stuff for him? That's nothing. He's already done that,
hour.
Right? Been there, done that. You know he wants a 3rd again.
On 1st down, Stafford here. And that is incomplete. Down to 15 seconds now.
I hope I don't sound too rah-rah on that one, but that's the exact right throw. Either your receiver gets it or no one gets it. Give him a lot of credit for being really precise with it.
Got rid of it. No one got it. Play action. Stafford. He's got his man. This is Tate. He got 29 yards that time. And barring something unforeseen, this will be the last play of the game. And, Charles, you know what coaches always tell us. We want to win our home games. That much we know. We want to protect our home.